Tough loss this weekend. Went down to Grambling, tough place to play. We knew it would be a tough environment. They just kicked our butts. We went down there, had 5 turnovers. They came out the first quarter, scored the first 2 drives. Their offense did a good job, but our defense really buckled down the rest of the game. Offensively, we just found ways to beat ourselves. You can't go out there and have 5 turnovers. They capitalized 21 points off, I think 21 points off those turnovers. But, we got to clean up the mistakes, address the turnovers, and, get ready for to travel to Houston this week against Texas Southern.
Coach, how explosive is this team? Obviously, some of the plays you had this week didn't want to win the win. I mean, huge plays.
Yeah, very explosive. And then the thing that was kind of crazy about it, you had some guys that step up and make some explosive plays. You saw Jalen Dupree go out there and, we've been seeing it in practice, but he was waiting on his opportunity with some guys injured, made some explosive plays. Travis Terrell made some explosive plays as well. But, we got some guys that when you get in space, they can take advantage of it.
Going back-to-back on the road, going into practice this week, what do you want to clean up first?
We got to figure out ways to win on the road. The emphasis going into this year was playing better at home, and now we got to figure out how to go play on the road. These environments they are what they are. The fans, it was a great environment this past weekend, but we can't go out into a football game where we, totally dominate the stat line. We had 400 yards of offense. I think they only had 270. We ran the ball well, we threw the ball well, but we got to take care of the football, period, point blank, starting at the quarterback position and at the running back position.
Speaking of the quarterback, this is Cam's, how many games have played? Well, he's been continuously getting hurt before the game is over. Is upcoming for this game this weekend, are we going to start Jacoby instead of Cam?
We'll evaluate it starting tomorrow, get out there and practice. Cam was feeling better on yesterday when we came out to practice, but as a coaching staff, myself included, we'll evaluate it and put the best guy out there. But that has been an issue with him. The past 3 starts, he has been injured in all 3 games, so we got to get that addressed.
Has that kind of been getting a little frustrating,
It does. It does, and it's part of the game. It's frustrating to him. It's frustrating to him, to go out there and he wants to try to get through a full 4 quarters of football, but it is what it is. It's up to us, again, to get the right guy out there. But it is frustrating to the coaching staff, the players, and to Cam as well.
You think he'll be available for Saturday?
Yeah, he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
Coach, you had some uncharacteristic things happen in that game. Obviously, deep in your own territory, potentially scoring opportunities. What happened in those times, and how did you address to the players?
It was tough. We had one situation. I know Jacoby fumbled the ball. We had a great call. I thought, Landy pops wide open. It's the play where the tight end has been down the seam. Nobody covered him. Who'd have thought he'd have dropped the ball, and he tried to pick it up as opposed to just covering it up. So, and they scored off of that particular play. And then you going into the half, I probably, thinking back at it, it was a 1-point game at that point. I'm trying to get a field goal, try to get the lead because I know we get the ball back. And, Cam just missed a read on that and he threw the interception on that. So I got to do a better job of protecting those guys. It all starts with me, but we just got to be better. We talking about with the ball security and stuff.
Coach, we talk a lot about resilience on the football team in a lot of different ways, whether it's mentally and physically too. For Cameron's position, even though he keeps winding up getting injured, what does it say about him behind the scenes that he does keep coming back? He's
a tough football player. That's something we preach all year long with these guys. He's a tough competitor. He likes to get out there. He wants to compete. He wants to be on the football field. He knows what he means to this football team. So, it's about him, protecting himself in those situations. We continue to tell him to try to get down in those situations where he scrambles and runs and gets into the second level of defense. And he has to be, conscious of that type of stuff because, defenses, when they see the quarterback take off, they ready to tee off on those guys. So he got to keep that in the back of his mind and then, continue to get down when he have those opportunities to carry the football.
And as for a team as a whole, now that we're getting into, we've been in SWAC games, but SWAC games that are going to start counting for that conference record. What do you think is the biggest thing that you've learned or that this team's learned about itself in this kind of preseason?
We got a good football team. We got a good football team. It's about us going into these games and not finding ways to lose the football game right now. That's what it's all about. That's what I addressed with him on yesterday. Right now we're going, like you said, into conference play, and we don't have any losses. We still got everything out in front of us that we want as a program. But it's some things that we got to get cleaned up as a group. Like I said, the defense came out there. We were kind of flat. I thought those first 2 drives, but then they buckled down and didn't give them nothing after that. Everything else was the offense putting them in those situations with turnovers. So we're just going to continue to get better, get out here and practice tomorrow, get better this week, and continue to work on cleaning up these mistakes.
I don't know how much film you've been able to see on Texas Southern, but has there been anything that's stood out to you on that team?
They got some big guys up front. All teams do. They got some big guys up front that are, going to be kind of difficult to move. But I put our O-line up against anybody right now. Our running backs are running hard, but that looks like one of their strengths. They got a good linebacker over there, number 11, that really flies around and makes a lot of plays. He's been injured, so it's going to be interesting to see will he be on the field. But those are some things that stand out. We're just getting started on them, so we'll continue to watch them and put together a great plan. All right. Thank y'all, guys. Appreciate y'all.
I'm blessed, man.
Everybody ready?
Let's do it.
Coach, defense gave up, 41 points. What was your message to the team after the game?
Gotta keep chopping wood. I think when you look at that line, we gave up 2 yards of carry in the run game. Gave up 167 yard passing. We want to prevent points, but when you go back and look at the stat line, we felt good about leaving Grambling.
Coach, could you take maybe some positives away from that game? Because they did get 3 turnover scores. So can you maybe say, if JSU, if our offense did a little bit better, we would have done pretty well? Or,
We don't control that side of the ball. We don't even talk about it. It's not allowed to even come up on our side of the football. We control what we can control, and at the end of the day, that's a strike block and prevent points. And it's we fence. We gave up 41. So, it's no offense or defense.
And did you see some positives, though, that you took from that game on the defense?
Oh, yeah. The offensive player of the year, preseason, he had 160-some yards, after giving up 300 to a Southern team. So I felt good about that. And like I said, 2 yards of carry on the ground. So a lot of positive coming up out of there.
Some of the points were made on runs that the defense was able to stop in the first quarter, but I noticed the shift in the second quarter. What was told to the players on the sideline between the points?
One more time, I'm sorry.
I said a lot of the runs that were made, like points that were made on runs by Grambling, but I noticed the shift in the performance from defense during the first quarter and the second quarter. What was told to the players on the sidelines?
I always point fingers at myself. It started with me. We had 2 different game plans. First was to hit the quarterback. And they had a great counter off of it. They got the ball out. They started getting to screen games. And so plan B came in effect after the second drive. All right, they ain't going to let us hit the quarterback. Let's play coverage. And that was all. The kid did a great job adapting to it.
What challenges does Texas Southern present you guys?
They running football. Our whole mindset is stop the run, stop the explosive and passing game. So that's going to be the biggest challenge. Got some big backs. They like to get down here, 225, 230-pound backs. So we got our handful this week.
We've talked a lot about making adjustments week to week, but just kind of, if you could tell me a little bit about, what is that process like during a game to make adjustments when you go into the plan, like stop the run or stop the pass, and then you see how the game plays on, and you just talk with the team about how things are going. What is that process like mid-game?
It's preparation. We already planned for it during the week. On Thursday we come in here and we pull up the call sheet, say, hey, this is what we thinking here. They start doing this, we're going to this, and we already have a plan in-house.
I know you mentioned a highlight on the defense, Josh, last week. Is there any players that kind of have caught your eye a little bit more heading into this week?
Maybe Shamar Hawkins. Play a lot of reps, right at 30 reps. Normally he behind Robert McDaniel. He normally get about 10 a game. Got about 30 the last game. He showed up, so I'm very proud of him.
Is there anything specifically that you want to see from the defense before you guys head into conference play?
Continue to scrape blockers, stop the run.
How much do you guys emphasize that during practice?
Every day. Should come to a practice on Tuesday, called Bloody Tuesday. it's physical. So the kids embrace it. Should come see it though.
Anybody else? What's the mood of the team right now, Coach?
Chopping wood, control what you can control. Next man up mentality. Had a lot of injury with the Southern game, so next man up mentality. And next play, next game. We can't let this game beat us twice.
All right.
Yep.